it is Sabre Arnold with Group 2 for those peer feedbacks. I'm going to be doing the teach back for ICS 100 Unit 2. On the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see my completed instructor preparation table. This is what I'm going to be using to conduct my teach back of this unit. On the right-hand side are those FEMA provided slides that we will utilize for the teach back. Slide 1 is the unit overview, and the main thing to get across to our students is all of the test questions for our courses and curriculums come from those objectives that they see. A lot of words here. What I would point out is, kind of ICS and how it works, and just kind of the basics of it, of making it work. Whenever you have a video, which you'll see on slide 3 here, prior to conducting a course, you need to make sure that that video works, that it's been downloaded, and that you test it several times before going in and delivering any type of training. Again, a lot of words on this one. You don't need to read verbatim the 14 characteristics. This is just more of an overview, kind of pull out 1 or 2 and letting them know these are the concepts that they will need to understand with the characteristics of NIMS. Common terminology, as you see that there is an exam question that comes off of this slide. Again, our job is not to slam our foot on the floor, but it's to make sure that we know where the questions are and we make sure we thoroughly cover the concepts in that. Common terminology, the 10 codes. Can anybody kind of raise their hand or come off of mute and talk about 10 codes and how you deal with those if you're not dealing with law enforcement or somebody who doesn't typically use them?
Yeah, this is Russ. I can talk to that a little bit. The volunteer fire department I work in has, they use 10 codes, but they're different from the 10 codes that law enforcement uses. And definitely when you start crossing county lines and state lines, the 10 codes don't line up. So if you're using 10 codes and you're embedded with somebody else, it's possible that there'll be confusion. You'll be asking for the wrong thing.
Perfect. And that's great, Russ. Thank you so much for that. It is really important to get our students to understand that maybe not everybody uses 10 codes, or they're not all the same. So using those personal experience goes a long way when we start talking about common terminology and why we use it. And then that moves us right into the next slide here. There's a great recommendation in the instructor guide that we really should use when we go into this discussion point. But have those students really get into the discussion on terminology and whether it's been successful or not successful and how they have made it work. Those experiences are crucial for learning. Again, another exam question comes from this one slide. So we're really making sure that we explain and emphasize that top-down development when we're talking about modular organization. Another exam question comes off of slide 8, and this is a good time to bring up the acronym LIP, which is that Life Safety, Incident Stabilization, Property, Environmental Preservation. And we also want to talk through the Incident Command or Unified Command establishing objectives when we're on this slide. This could be their first introduction to that. Slide 9, another exam question coming from here, and we want to use the questions that are in the IG for the incident action planning to really emphasize it and using the answers there. On slide 10, we are going to be doing an activity. Earlier in the day, we've already gone ahead and divided our students up into their groups. We'll use those same exact groups to complete this. You'll read it, make sure that none of the students have any questions, and then when you're done, you're going to go ahead and record all those answers and make sure that you're rotating the presenters to the students. Make sure everybody really understands the concepts and is involved in this. So again, my name is Sabre Arnold, and this was a presentation on a teach back for ICS 100 Unit 2.
Okay, then we'll keep it down here. I think I'm up next for this teach back thing. So just, bear with me. Sorry, I was on mute again. Hey everyone, it's me again. So we're going to talk a little bit about ICS 100 Unit 2. I don't typically teach the 100 course, so bear with me. We'll get through this. This is a teach back. We're going to be talking about the National Incident Management System and specifically characteristics. The objective is going to be to describe the 14 NIMS management characteristics that are in this unit. Let's see. Slide 2. Effective incident management relies on common organizational structure for managing resources. So this is where the incident command system is going to come in. I know this is a baseline course. Maybe you haven't had the opportunity to really understand what goes on, but if an incident occurs, you can be called on to assist, and ICS is going to be one of the response principles you use to ensure success. You should understand how this structure works. Let's see, slide 3. This was a video. It didn't work for me when I pulled it up. I don't think it's super important for what we're doing here today. It's important to FEMA, so you should probably use it when you're delivering the course. But for today, just know that there's a video. It talks about the NIMS characteristics, and we'll get through them a little bit later on. Your computer's going to. Oh no, we're okay. We're okay. Let's see. Slide 4. Oop, too far. Let me go back one. All right. These are the 14 characteristics. You've got common terminology, modular organization, management by objective, incident action planning, manageable span of control, incident facilities, locations. Comprehensive resource management. This isn't all that important. I can take this later. Establishment and transfer of command, unified command, chain of command, and unity of command, accountability, dispatch, deployment, information intelligence. All right, so this one right here. Let's talk about this one. Who can give me an idea of what I'm looking at there? I'm sorry, I was pointing to incident action planning. Either way, we'll get to that later on in Unit 2 as well. Let me see. Next slide. Common terminology. We're going to talk about 10 codes and why we shouldn't use them, why we should use them. How do they fit into common terminology? Most of you have seen in movies and TV the use of 10 codes, so there'll be a good discussion on this later on. Let's see. That discussion's right now. All right, so if we're using 10 codes on a daily basis, why you should, you may not know. So we'll refer to this. We'll refer to this when we get further into the unit. Let's see. Next slide. All right, this is sticks and boxes, and there's an exam question. The exam question is that first bullet that you're seeing right there on the slide. I'd be writing that down. You'll see it later on today when we take the final exam, but that is almost a verbatim test question. We're going to talk about sticks and boxes. This is how the ICS organization is laid out when you're deployed, when you're on an incident. Names and titles fit in the modular organization boxes. And you expand it and contract it as the incident dictates. Let's see, next slide. There's a test question on this one, management by objectives. So you're going to want to read those 4 bullets. Incident commander, unified command, which we're going to discuss later, establishes incident objectives that drive the incident operation. So that is the test question. So you should be aware of that. Follow that up, and I think this is where my presentation ends.